Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a deck profile on Annie Leonhart Awakened on the Death Symbol primary. We do have obviously some Chaos cards in there, so Annie's one of the probably more popular characters out of AOT3, out of Apocalypse. She got a huge glow up over her first version in AOT1. She still has a little bit of a backup synergy, but she does not rely on it that much. Same thing with the first one, like you can make things throws and all that stuff, but this one really just screams aggro play me. I mean, I'm not a big aggro player, but like she screams like aggro. But I think she can also play like a mid-rangey like build with a bunch of backups, or she can also play like a long games type thing where she can just kind of like wait you out by playing good defense, getting +2 check, stuff like that. But let's get into it. She is 721. She has a static. She can commit a backup as where a foundation to pass a check. Front side is your attack, sacrifice a backup or foundation, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. If you have 3 or more, you transform her into the female Titan. You get 2 speed when you have 2 or more backups. She has the same static as the front side, but the creme de la creme is the enhance, spend 1 momentum, do Godzilla things, get +3 damage, or -3 damage, and +2 to your check. So it's very cool. So I do like to sort things by difficulty when we start, so let's get going. Sweeping Daggers, first attack. 4 difficulty 3 check, 5 mid for 4, 1 mid block. You can distill Rival's attack out of the discard pile, get all the abilities and printed keyword ratings and the keywords, and you can also just burn them randomly with a dagger. If you have dagger or daggers, you just boop, burn them 1. We do like free momentum, and Dual Needle Lunge solves that problem for clearing the card pool, keeping our card pool nice and clean. Also, it has some nice snap momentum. Also, it can like randomly mill stuff on the top of our rival's deck, but it does have EX, so we could like give it 3 damage in a pinch with Annie, and then just like send the rest of them momentum for like 2 or 3 momentum for like 4 to 6 speed, and it's a pretty hard attack to deal with. A 9 high for 8 isn't nothing to scoff at. But yeah, it does kind of grease the wheels a bit about getting, so we can just get 2 momentum for 1, and that's like the value, right? We want to try to be able to get as much momentum on each attack without blowing up our foundations or backups. Basically the finisher in the deck, if you want to call it a finisher. Irwin's Final Charge, 5 difficulty 3 check 2 mid block, 5 mid 5 breaker 1 charge and weapon. Sacrifice blitz, sacrifice any number of foundations, get a damage for each foundation we sacrifice this way. If we sacrifice 5 or more foundations this way, get 5 speed. Normally this come in, I've played this card like on a 9. You may have seen some of the videos, the gameplay videos on the channel. I usually throw this at the end of a chain on like an 8 or a 9 commit. With Annie's ability, we could check an 8 or a 9 pretty easily. We can pass that, and then we destroy all these committed foundations, use more momentum to get damage, and then hopefully we're sending a 10 mid for 13 for lethal, and they can't do anything about it. And we got some nice setup cards, a nice lead in right here. Every deck needs a Haymaker, and we got Earthbreaker in this deck. It's a 5 difficulty 3 check, 1 high block, 3 low for 5, stun 2, charge punch. Blitz, if your rival has more foundations than you, draw a card. Normally they do because we're destroying our own foundations and backups to get momentum. Response card pool, after you draw 1 or more cards, your attack gets +1 damage. That normally doesn't trigger too much. We do have some ability. We have like Botan's Coaching, and I'm looking, and Latent Skill. So it doesn't trigger that often, but it can trigger once in a while. Also, response, after this attack deals damage, destroy 1 rival foundation committed during this attack. So if they commit something good, we can pop it. Next up is support from the female Titan, her own card from the set, 5 difficulty, 3 check, 2 high block, 5 high for 5, some deadlock stun too, it's not too bad in Titan. I really wish this had like kick or punch, so it could synergize with the female Titan attacks. That would be super sick, but it doesn't. As just a response, after this attack resolves, if you have 1 or more momentum, add the top card of your deck to your momentum and draw a card. So this allows us, if we have this and 1 other attack, but we don't have Dual Needle Lunge in hand, or finally free on board, we can destroy foundation, get a momentum off this draw card, play another attack if we need to, and then transform. We are kind of like this weird aggro-y deck. We don't like people building to 1,000,000 foundations, so we can operate pretty well off of 4 with Annie, but I think this is, and we may need to side a different attack other than more copies of this, just so if this card doesn't really do anything, because like into another aggro deck doesn't really do too much, unless they build up. But yeah, but offensively this card's super good for us. Super easy to block though. It's a unyielding destruction, 5 difficulty, 3 check, 2 mid block, 2 mid for 6. A 2 mid 9's pretty cool. Each player chooses 4 foundations in their state, sacrifices the rest. So if we have an enormous axe, obviously we're choosing that to rebuild, and then we're keeping 4 other guys. Speaking of building foundations mid-turn, Colossus SWAT, 6 difficulty, 3 check, 3 high block, 5 low for 5, powerful 4 Titan. Blitz, build the top 2 cards of your deck face down. At the end of your turn, sacrifice those foundations. Hey, guess what? In this deck, those unless we're on our backside, those foundations are never there because we're going to start popping them with Annie to get free momentum. We do play 4 backups in the deck. We got 2 to 3 meter class Titans, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 2 high block, 3 stamina. Enhanced commit gives us some speed. And then we play 2 copies of Sean, the sexy mage. You know, Sean's great. It's a 3 difficulty, 5 check, 4 stamina, 2 mid block. He gives us the mage keyword, which doesn't really matter, but we get to grease the wheels by committing him for +2 to check. And then if we're on our front side, we eat him for a momentum. Moving on to foundations, we got 3 copies of Foresight because like if we can build that 4th or 5th foundation on turn 1, this helps out. Syndicate target, 0 difficulty, 6 check, 0 low block, gives us a really nice low block. It's only bad if you're at 1. 4 copies of Botan's Coaching because we want to be digging for attacks as we're attacking. Same thing with Horrifying Realization. I swear, the amount of times where I've had a Horrifying on board and I play like a 5 diff and I check a 3 has been more times than I would like to admit. But yeah, I should always pop this early just so I can get that 3 off the top. A late edition, I did have a different. I had the 1/5 too low. If you've destroyed 2 or more foundations, you get +1 or -1 to a control check. Found out that it's not that good if we flip early. So I wanted something that would be good all around, and undercover infiltration, a 1/5 3 low block. Randomly Fury because he's mad because he's throwing a baseball. Because he's mad the White Sox suck. Enhance, if this is this the first attack you have played this turn? It gets 1 speed, 1 damage. So it gives us a little bit of bump. And Deadlock Enhance, we get to flip to target commit to rival foundations. So it's a good deadlock breaker. 2 copies of Frantic Plea, 1 difficulty, 5 check, 2 high block. Response flip. After your rival plays the 3rd or greater attack this turn, we remove 1 card from our card pool and draw a card. So basically we gain a speed or whatever, you know, like we clear progressive and then we draw a card, which is kind of nice. 4 copies of Always Cool, 2 difficulty, 5 check, 2 low block. Can't leave the card pool during the combat phase, but enhance, add this card to your card pool. We get to build 2, which is kind of nice that if we have a few foundations, we say we go in, we have one of these. We don't go in, but we kind of like poke and build that momentum. This will net us 1 extra foundation. We'll rebuild that 1 foundation we popped. And it's a damage lock, which is nice. Latent Skill, 2 copies for more card digging. Dark Ward at 2 copies. Canceling responsibilities and card pulls are really good. Lethal Slash, you know, Showdown. Breaker is really huge into us. Like Face Shield, if anyone plays Face Shield, you know, stuff like that. Soul Motivation, 2 difficulty, 5 check, 3 high block, enhance. Stack gets -2 speed. But since we're always probably going to have fewer foundations than our rival, we get -4 speed instead. So it's a pretty nice card. Marley's Warriors, 2/5, 2 mid block. Warrior first form, we are a warrior. Commit flip, our checks do a play attacks, get +1 this turn. So it helps us grease the wheels. Also, if we're on our transform side, I should say, we get +3 to check for the turn. 3 to play attacks, 2 to play any other card. Devastating Loss, 2/5, 3 low. Enhance, sacrifice, destroying 1 rival asset or backup. Hey man, 9 Titans of throughout history or whatever sucks. That card is just is a pain to deal with. This helps get rid of it. 2 copies of Moment of Normalcy. Hey, welcome to Infinity staple cards, everybody. Which is weird because I don't have Moment of Doubts filled with doubts in this deck, but probably going forward it will. 3 copies of Enormous Axe because it rebuilds after we destroy it. On our front side, finally free, 3/6, 1 mid. 2 copies of it. Flip, we get a free momentum. So it helps us accrue momentum without having to destroy a foundation. Next up, we got a third copy of Frantic Plea. 2 copies of Keiko's Aid in the board. Disarming Glance in the board allows us to not let them. They can't play after an attack is played. Players can't play abilities that add cards to their hands until after the attack resolves. Dark Ward, 2 more copies. 2 Desperate Struggles. And then 1 more Unyielding Destruction. So, like, really, to be honest, probably this Frantic Plea and this Unyielding would become the Filled with Doubts. And then how many cards we're at? We're at 66, so he'd probably just cut 1 of each of these guys and then just play 2 in the main. I don't really rely on the backups. They're just there to be nice, so. But yeah, guys, this is going to be on the channel on a YouTube video sometime soon. If you have any other questions, please comment. Let me know what you think. What has your Annie Awakened decks look like? Are you more backup heavy? I know there's some decks playing the Critical Role Ultra Rare, harnessing Undeath, and using that as an engine to burn your rival, kill your rival. I've heard of a 4-check Annie that's been a lot of fun to play. Yeah, she's just very, very versatile. And like you don't have to really rely on backups; they're just kind of nice to have. So, so that will do it for the video today, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to share, like, hit the socials or whatever. And until the next video, take care.